Time now for Now and Then Talk Radio with Denny Farrell and Mayo Pardo.
Welcome to Now and Then Talk Radio. For those of you who are a little confused...
I'm just confused looking. I'm not necessarily mentally confused.
A lot of the younger set, they look at us like, boy, are they confused. Boy, they better get smart.
You know, especially if somebody sees you walking around a parking lot looking for your car.
Have you ever done that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I mean, you almost want to go into a song and dance routine because you know you're on camera, but you want to look like, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm cool. I know where it is.
Yeah. The worst episode I had of that was I was at a big store. So, of course, the parking lot was very big. And I was in a hurry to get something, and I did not pay attention to where I had parked, which normally I make a mental note of it before I go in the store. And so I come out after making my purchase, and I'm looking around, and I don't see my car anywhere. And I thought, holy cow, did somebody steal my car?
I thought that too, you know?
Yeah, I know it was in this row. And so I walk up and down the row a couple times. No, it's not in this row. Well, maybe maybe it's one row over. So I walk down that row, and I walk up and back. No, it's not here either.
Now you're really thinking... Somebody stole the car.
Yeah.
Now, why would they want that car?
Yeah, and so having one of the newer key fobs where you can press the button on the key and then your alarm beeps, you know.
Oh, you've got one of those?
Yeah, so I'm doing that to try to see if I can hear where my vehicle is parked, and I couldn't hear it.
But now you need a hearing aid.
So it took me about 20 minutes of walking around, and then I finally found it.
Well, I get this guilt. I feel like, they're watching, and I'm really looking stupid.
Yeah.
And I do it so easily on my own. I don't need help with a big parking lot. And so you go into it like, I'm really walking. But now I'm looking like I'm looking for keys in the car to steal it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Or maybe you're just looking for someone that left their car open so you could steal something out of the car.
Exactly. Yeah. So then that goes through your mind. Now you think, oh my, what?
Now, next thing you know, the cops are going to be out asking you, what the heck are you doing here, buddy?
Now we got a suspicious character over here at the Brickyard on Narragansett and Diversey, which is gone now. But who knows? Anyway, Now and Then Talk Radio is designed for baby boomers. And if you have kids, I'm sorry.
Speaking of which.
Yeah, well, we've got kids, that's for sure.
Yeah, and today is a momentous occasion in our household because one of our kids has decided to move out and get an apartment with a friend of hers. And, I won't say it's about time, but...
It's about time.
It's about time. She's just about 30 years old now, so...
Oh, my. Can you imagine?
Well, to be fair, she had previously moved away a couple of years ago, 3-4 years ago. She moved to Wyoming, of all places, to live with a boyfriend. And she was there for a little while. That didn't work out, so she came back home. So now she's tired of being at home, I guess, and she's moving out to an apartment. So I wish her luck.
Well, I couldn't wait to leave when I was 18 until I got where I was going, and then I wanted to go back home to Mom.
Yeah, well, that was a whole different situation.
Get up, dummy. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
Get your hands out of your pockets, you cold. No, I'm not cold. So anyway, Now and Then Talk Radio dedicated to the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, whenever you were growing up. Things have changed so much in this new year.
Yeah.
2020, 2021, 2019, just in case it's playing any of those dates, okay? Well, it wouldn't be playing 2019, would it? So we'll say 2021, 22.
If somebody's got a time machine and they're listening to us in the past,
Now, that's something I would love to go in.
A time machine?
I would. I would take a trip, sure.
Would you go backwards or forwards?
I would go backwards. I'm not interested in forward.
No.
No.
Well, I think I'd like to try both. You know,
Well, I mean, if I've got
not at the same time.
well, then you'll be one of the Wishbone kids.
Yeah.
Remember that? The third grade reader, the Wishbone kids.
Wow.
But no, to go back, I would love to go back to have all that knowledge and just think what you could have fun with.
Well, sometimes, yeah, a little bit of the knowledge, but you wouldn't have the technology along with you, so that could be difficult.
No, but the knowledge of, well, we can make this work by doing this.
Yeah.
And you know that it's going to work.
Well, and you could also predict horse races.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
You know, some of the sporting games.
Yeah. Just like, if a flying saucer landed, I would take a ride.
Yeah, I would definitely be up for that, unless the beings that came out of the flying saucer were so horrendous or so violent that I would run the other way.
Like if they look Russian?
I don't know about that, but you can't predict what an alien life form would be like or what its intentions are. So,
well, look at it this way: how far are we in our life? What do we got to lose?
Well,
20, 30 years? Boy, are we dreaming, huh?
Yeah.
We already decided how we were going to go. I'm going to go when I'm 94 years old, shot by a jealous 24-year-old husband. Don't you think that's in you?
Yeah. And speaking of getting up there in years, we recently learned that Olivia de Havilland passed away.
Yeah.
And she lived quite a long, long life.
Yeah. 104?
Yeah, I was thinking 103, 104.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
It is.
What do? You have no friends left.
Well, you make new friends along the way, I would hope.
Yeah, well.
And hopefully towards, we never really heard much about what was going on in her life the last, 30 years?
Yeah.
So we don't know how she was getting along necessarily. So hopefully she had a good life up till the end.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know. I mean,
I wouldn't want to live a long life if I was, suffering the last third of my life.
Yeah. No, the whole idea is to live and enjoy yourself. And boy, we sure did in the 1960s.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there was...
Party time.
Yeah. I mean, if it was a Monday, it seemed like 3 years until Friday.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
time really took a lot longer back then for some reason.
Now, I can't believe Monday was just the other day. And here we're...
It's already
5
Thursday.
days, 6 days later.
Yeah.
Why is it the time goes so quick?
I don't even know what day it is. That's how time moves for me.
Well, that's why I said you looked confused today when you came in.
Well, part of that was I got no sleep last night. I don't know if I was hyped up about my kid moving out of the house or what.
But your wife didn't say anything when you borrowed that dress?
Oh, that's why I felt kind of...
Yeah, walking and swaying, Oh, life.
It's not a dress. It's a kilt.
What was that song, Life Can Be a Dream?
Yeah.
I don't remember who did that.
Yeah,
Who did that? Life Can Be a Dream.
Oh, life could be a dream if I could take you up in paradise up above. If you would tell me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Hello, hello again, sweetheart.
Oh, the crew cuts. That's what it was. Shaboom. Maybe it's a nightmare. Maybe it's a real dream. Keep common sense.
Yeah, well...
Don't go to these big parties. How can somebody do that?
I know. My wife and I went to an outdoor restaurant just 3-4 days ago, and it was out on their patio, and there was plenty of space between tables, and seating was good. However, there was a high school graduation party 2-3 tables away from us that were tables of 10.
Oh my.
And there were 2 of these tables of 10, And everybody is sitting shoulder to shoulder with, obviously not a 6-foot distance between themselves, and nobody had masks.
Yeah.
And they're all having fun, and, it's a graduation party, which, that's great that they graduated, but really, I don't think this is the time yet to be that close to people.
No.
Especially if they're people not in your own family.
Yeah. And we're people, and, we really like to be around people. That's why when all this clears up, if you want to have a special get-together at your place with friends and have us over to record a program, we'll be there. It's only going to cost $2,000, and that's to get rid of us. No, but that's one of the things we're looking forward to doing, taking Now and Then Talk Radio on the road.
That would be interesting.
Oh, yeah, and have fun. It's one of the oldest radio programs around. You, the audience, are the star because everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. What's the story that you've never told anybody? What's the secret?
Well...
No, not that one.
Yeah, there's some things that maybe I should still keep a secret.
I think you better. Statute of limitations might not be up.
Well, there is something, but I've already mentioned it on the show previously. But for those of you that did not tune in last time to catch that message, I used to have a fascination with fire. And I one time, me and a couple other kids were riding our Stingray bicycles around this empty lot, and we were shooting stick matches into this empty lot.
Oh, my.
And, of course, the stick matches would light when we shot them into the grass, and it set the whole lot on fire.
That's Mayo Pardo speaking. That's Mayo Pardo speaking.
So one of the nosy neighbors who saw this happening called the police, and, the police came by and brought me home to my parents and told them I set the field on fire. It was then that I made a good acquaintance with the yardstick.
Oh, I'll bet you did. A yardstick wasn't bad. That would be kind of lightweight. When you meet a spatula close up,
oh, yeah,
it gets your attention.
Yeah, that has a lot less give to it than a yardstick.
Yeah, and it's got a snap. You snap to attention when you get it.
But that's, back in the day, our parents did not think twice about giving us discipline. And it kind of would shock us into realizing, I guess I'm not supposed to do that again.
Yeah. Well, this is something that's gone today. If you discipline somebody, you're out of line, and it's too bad because you can't have a society without discipline. I don't care what you say. If we're from that generation, those hippies and all the crazies and stuff like that. You were a hippie.
Well,
I imagine, weren't you?
There's not a very effective result if you try to tell an adult to go stand in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
If an adult's been misbehaving and you tell them, hey, you got to stop that. Now you go stand in the corner for 3 minutes until you realize.
Adults call it jail. Not standing in the corner.
Yeah.
You go back and you think of the things that you did wrong. I'd much rather visit my kids at home than in jail. So that's why there was discipline. Don't you agree? I mean, it's much.
Well, yeah, you have to have ground rules, and you expect we expected our kids to have certain guidelines that they followed and ways of behaving and acting around other people. And, you'd impress upon them that something was seriously wrong if they didn't follow those guidelines.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did things that were pretty nasty. I mean, played little tricks on each other and things that...
yeah.
Did you ever, like today, oh boy, you'd get shot today. You'd get your hands wet in a drinking fountain. Say you're walking in high school, and you're walking down the hall, and a guy coming the other way, somebody you didn't really care for, and you go... and you flick your fingers, and all this water goes all over, but you really don't sneeze.
Yeah. That's a good trick. I never tried that in high school or wherever.
Oh, we did all the crazy things. Like we used to carry little squirt guns, little tiny ones, you know.
Yeah.
I'm talking back in the 1960s now. And it'd always be the loudmouth from Melrose Park or somewhere. And not everybody from Melrose Park is a loudmouth, but this guy was. Elmwood Park, not Melrose Park. And he had light-colored pants on, and he thought he was a big deal. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And sort of walking along, go, tit-tit-tit-tit-tit, and squirt him right around the, you know, it looked like, oh, he had an accident. And he had to walk the rest of the way down the hall with wet pants. The little things that we did, it really didn't cause any problems.
And now, you know, to correlate that to nowadays, I had this thing happen to me where I had gone to a doctor's appointment, and after the doctor's appointment, I came out, I got in my car, and I have hand sanitizer in my car, so I liberally put the hand sanitizer in the palm of one hand, and then I kind of slap my hands together and start to, you know, get this stuff all over my fingers and everything, but it felt like there was hardly anything there. And next thing I know, I looked down and this big glop of hand sanitizer was right on my pants where it should not have been. And so I kind of wiped it off with my fingers.
Just think somebody walking through the parking lot what they thought when they looked at you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When I started pulling on my pants to help it evaporate more.
To get rid of it, yeah. The little things that mean so much.
And the main problem, you know, had I just been going home, it would not have been a big deal. But after the doctor's office, I had to go to the pharmacy to pick up a prescription. And now I got to walk into the store with this big wet spot on my pants.
Oh. That is terrible.
So, you know, nowadays we have to put up with similar things.
Yeah. Well, you're getting used to putting hand sanitizer on when you get in your car. The best thing to do is put it between the seats and reach over and hit it one time and then rub it. And the doctor told me, he said the way hand sanitizer works, you have to really rub it till it's dry.
Yeah.
You can't just rub it to make your hands wet and that's it. It doesn't work that way. You've got to rub it till it's dry. Now, that's the doctor telling me that. Now, whether I don't know what kind of well, he's a good doctor. I think he's a doctor.
In fact, it was just some guy on the street.
As a matter of fact, there's a guy who's asked me, I just got off at Union Station, was walking from the train. Hey, man, you got a quarter? And
he was rubbing his hands together briskly in anticipation of getting that quarter from you.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the things. You drive around town today. I don't remember seeing this back in the 60s where people would be standing in the street with signs begging.
I know. It really annoys me.
Why do they allow that? It's bad enough to be walking down Adams Street in Chicago or Michigan Avenue or State Street and have people put the bite on you.
Well, you know, I live near Randall Road, and I've seen people standing in the middle of Randall Road at stoplights with signs, you know, begging for money.
Yeah, homeless, a veteran.
Right, help us get food or whatever, you know, and you got to think that half of them or more are just scam artists who are just collecting money all day long, and they go home and, you know, drive in their relatively new car.
Well, what you're doing is you're creating a danger in the road. Because I almost hit one of them.
Yeah.
And I bet if you stuck around, maybe we should do it sometime. If this was TV, we could have video for you at the end of the day. Yeah, watch them get in their MG, drive off. This is 1960s we're talking about. But, everybody's got a scam. There used to be a song called Ace in the Hole. You know,
and
it was talking about the scam artist. You know, everybody's got just a gigolo everywhere they go.
Yeah. Well, I can remember when we used to hang out in Old Town.
Oh boy,
it was a routine thing where, and not only Old Town but also in Lincoln Park near around the zoo and stuff. People would constantly walk past you and say, "Hey, man, you got any spare change?"
Oh, in Old Town they did it to you?
Yeah, all the time for me.
Yeah,
I don't know if they thought I was wealthy or what. Oh,
Well,
here's this little suburban kid. What's he doing here? Let's see if we can hit him up for money.
Yeah. Well, I'm lucky I grew up in the country, but I got city sense. You know, common sense. I mean,
Yeah.
working downtown Chicago and working in other major cities, you learn common sense. A lot of people don't
Yeah.
have that today. And
there were things to watch out for that, naive people might not anticipate.
yeah.
Pickpockets.
Yeah. Well, I feel really sorry for a lot of people, especially a lot of the seniors who were getting these calls for, send me some money. And one of them, it happened to a neighbor not far from me where they took him for like $30,000.
Holy cow.
He's a World War II guy, nice guy. And they said that they had his son, or his grandson, and he was in jail and he had to make bail.
Oh, brother.
And
That's a typical scam.
yeah, well, that's just one of them. And
Yeah.
I've heard about it, but I never knew anybody until it happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, my goodness, that really does happen. And, if you don't recognize the name, and we've said it so many times on the, caller ID,
Yeah.
you just let it go. If it's important and you've got a phone, you've got a tape or a message, whatever they call it, not a tape,
Yeah.
but a
Voicemail.
voicemail,
Yeah, they'll leave a message.
they'll leave a message. If it's not important and it's just a scam, they'll just hang up, and you can usually tell. It's unfortunate that the world has gotten that way.
I had a call from supposedly the utility company, the electric company, and the call went something like, "Hello, this is an apology call."
Right off the bat. What?
Yeah, this is an apology call. We'd like to inform you that you've been overcharged on your electric bill, and we would like to give you a rebate of the overcharge. So if
boy.
you would like to receive your rebate check, please press 2.
And then the party's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I pressed hang up and was done with it.
Yeah. Well, look at that letter there, that email that I just got.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is another one it's kind of an offshoot of the old Nigerian prince who wants to leave all his money to you, where
Yeah, I just got this in the email just the other day and saved
Yeah.
it. So if you get it, you'll know what we're talking about.
I'll try to be brief. Once again, I try to notify you as my earlier letter was returned undelivered, as if email could be undelivered, right?
Yeah.
I hereby attempt to reach you again by this same email address. I wish to notify you that late Hillary S. made you a beneficiary in his will.
In his will.
Yeah. I
Were
guess
they talking
Hillary,
about Hillary Clinton? Because she is at...
maybe.
No, I won't never. Sorry, Park Ridge.
he left a reasonable amount of money to you. The amount is withheld for security reasons in the codicil and last testament to his will. This may sound strange and unbelievable to you, but it is real and true. Being a widely traveled man, he said he met you sometime in the past.
Oh, I hate to think where.
So, yeah, essentially they want to get you to respond to them, and then they're going to lead you into believing that they're going to send you this money if you just give them your bank account details.
Yeah.
And that's never going to happen.
So we're living in a world of...
Scam artists everywhere.
Scammers, yeah. I don't... Back in the 60s, I don't remember... Used car salesmen were the closest thing we had to a...
Yeah.
And not all of them, but I mean, there were some that,
Yeah.
they put honey in the oil, so it didn't have that tick, 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 tick sound.
Or,
with the...
or sawdust in the transmission.
That's it, yeah. Yeah. So that's why you went to a real car dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember all that happening back then. All the little things that they try and pull today. What does that tell you about society? And what
Well, do you think people are getting more desperate for ways to make money, even if it is illegal or not on the up and up?
Oh, for sure.
So there's probably more of the middle class that have kind of lost the ability to make money for one reason or another. And some of them are turning to devious methods.
Well, a lot of these computer people,
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how they do it, but they have fun with it. Not all of them, but of course there's several of them.
I like there are some YouTube videos that a guy or a couple guys, they hack into these people that are trying to pull computer scams.
Mm-hmm.
And they hack into their computers in a way, most of them are using laptops. So
Right.
they hack into these laptops and they gain access either to the video camera on the laptop, the webcam,
Mm-hmm.
or they somehow gain access to the facility's security cameras, and they can watch everyone in this whole facility, and they've got just rows and rows of people on computers trying to pull these scams.
Yeah.
So
It's an education to watch
amazing.
some of that stuff.
Yeah.
I like YouTube.
Yeah, there's so much stuff on there you can figure out.
Yeah.
You know, if you have any kind of question or problem, you put it into YouTube, and somebody will show you how to solve it.
Yeah. I've got a thing on there on YouTube where I'm driving down the side of a mountain.
That sounds
A
dangerous.
snow-covered mountain on a dirt road, and I'm over, probably about 7,000 feet up. And I'm driving down the cliffs. Not the cliffs, but the road along the cliffs. So you can find it. Just look for Sun Valley, Idaho. You'll find it. It's listening to a radio show that I did the night before. I guess I was a little bit goofy.
And did you know that you were making this on video at the time?
Oh, yeah, I knew because I thought, well, if I go off the cliff, I want the kids to remember me. And so I've turned the camera on and I'm starting to videotape as I'm going down the mountain.
Yeah.
And then I turn on the radio. And I didn't know they were running a rebroadcast of our radio show from the night before at the Sun Valley Lodge with big swing band. And so I'm listening to myself on the radio and I'm watching the road. I got the steering wheel in one hand and the camera in the other hand. And the road is icy.
Oh, boy.
It's not paved. It's a dirt road.
Oh, yeah.
Going straight up into the mountain. It's one of those fire roads that you should not drive on. The thing was, when I went up there, there was no snow.
Oh, so
And
it
I
happened
parked.
as you you were up there.
Yeah, I parked and I'm walking around in the mountains and looking around. Oh, this is really beautiful. And a little bit of snow is coming down. I think, well, heck, that's nothing. I'm from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of snow is nothing. Until I got to the edge of then I looked, my goodness, did they get the snow out there?
And then the road turns to mush
And
because
ice.
it's not paved.
Yeah, yeah. But those are part of the things that you do in life you learn. I thought, well, I better put this on tape. If they find the car down the bottom of a ridge, they might find a tape of me talking to the kids. So that's the way it is. This is Now and Then Talk Radio, wherever you might be tuned in. We've got a toll-free phone number. It's 1-866-625-4475. That's 1-866-625-4475. If you'd like to add to the conversation, if you have something unusual that's happened to you, or if you've got, I don't know, what would you say, something that happened that you don't want to explain? Have you got any ideas on that?
Or how about the last time you actually had to use a payphone? How long ago was that?
Yeah, that's been a while, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, how could you even find one nowadays?
Yeah, the telephone booths are selling pretty good. They're pretty expensive.
Wow.
We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
Now and Then Talk Radio with Mayo Pardo and Denny Farrell.
Did you like my drum solo there?
Yeah, boy, I didn't know that we have a little drum set in here. It fell over when Mel tried to get up to walk to it. And that's why they created a little bit of dead air. I guess in the computer society, these people that do these podcasts or whatever you call them,
Yeah.
the dead air is something that they're used to.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes you get confused with which buttons to press, which buttons to not press, which tapes to run, or which CDs to run, and this whole technology thing is very involved.
Well, when you get spoiled for 20 years, having an engineer push the buttons for you, it can be a little confusing.
But thank goodness it's not reel-to-reel tape.
Oh boy.
That would be even more confusing for
I've
me.
got nightmares in that. Working at little radio stations and playing foreign language tapes.
Wow.
Starting out, you take any job you can get in radio.
Yeah.
And I'm playing this one, and it's a Spanish tape. I thought it sounded Spanish. And most tapes are recorded at what they call 7.5 IPS.
Okay.
This one was recorded at 15 or something. I don't know how that, way back then even.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I played it sounded foreign to me, but it wasn't. It was at the wrong speed. Boy, did the phone panel light up.
Yeah.
Why are you playing my tape that fast?
Little problems.
Yeah. I'm sorry, it sounded foreign to me. That excuse didn't hold water. So the station had to give a free program.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that's all part of what we do here at Now and Then Talk Radio. We're live on nowandthentalkradio.com right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People can go to nowandthentalkradio.com and catch our show live as it happens on Thursdays at noon, or you can go there any day of the week and catch the rebroadcasts.
Right. The silliness that runs for a week, and you can be a part of it. All you have to do is call in. 866-625-4475. If you want to take part, if you're sitting there, you got nothing to do, well, I'll tell you what.
And you don't have to call in on a pay phone.
No. And the call's free. That's even better.
Yep.
So anyway, what we try to do here is just have a little bit of fun and go back and remember some of the goofy things that doing back in the 1950s, 1960s, 1970s even. A lot of guys, our childhood was taken away in the late 60s. And so when we came back home in 1970, 71, a lot of us were reliving our childhood.
Yeah.
And we were acting like complete idiots. Yes, I remember those days. Going down to Southern Illinois University on leave.
Oh, that was supposed to be a big party school.
Oh, was it? I went with a friend of mine from town. I won't mention his name, and I was home on leave. And so he said, well, let's go over to the girls' dorm. I said, okay, I didn't think anything of it. So we got in there, and back then it wasn't co-ed.
And it probably did not have locked doors either.
No. So it was kind of nice, but we got in there and ran into a couple friends and started drinking Purple Passion, I think they called it.
Oh, yeah.
Grain alcohol and it'd make you go blind. Also, I remember he ended up in the bathtub. And now I'm sleeping and I wake up and it's already dawn. I'm thinking, oh, we got to get out of here. How do we get out of here? Well, we got out, yeah. But no problems, just fun. But that was the thing. We never hurt anyone except ourselves.
Right.
But I don't know how many people have taken part in little adventures like that. Have you?
At one time, I was going out with a girl who was going to a local college. It was actually DeKalb.
Oh, okay.
And I went to visit her and decided to stay over in her dorm room. And dorm rooms have the smallest beds in the world. And if you can imagine trying to fit two people on one of these beds, it's a tight fit no matter what position you're in.
Well, yeah.
And compounding the closeness of the room, she had a roommate who had her own bed. But, I'm thinking to myself, how's this going to work? Are we supposed to be...
that would not happen.
Yeah, so I learned that there's supposed to be some kind of code that they used where, I don't know, they hang a sock on the doorknob or something to signal, oh, you're not supposed to come in here now because something's going on.
Never dawned on me. I never had that privilege of except just tagging along at one time. And
yeah, so her friends tried to get back at us in a mischievous way, and they would they did two things in particular. One was they dumped a bunch of baby powder at the bottom of the door, and then they used a blow dryer on an extension cord and blew all this dust into the room.
Oh.
So it was like this big cloud of baby powder just all of a sudden wafted into the room. And the other thing they did was they stuck pennies on the hinge side of the door, and that prevented the door from opening.
Oh.
It's like, how are we going to get out of here? And you could hear all her friends laughing on the other side of the door.
Well, yeah, it was like Animal House, it sounds like.
Yeah, kind of.
You know? I never had that privilege, but I wish again, that was male talking.
Yeah, but, you know, that's the kind of innocent fun that would go on.
Nobody was getting hurt.
No, nothing really malicious.
No. And that's something today, I think there's a certain group that get off on being mean today.
Yeah.
And I just don't get it.
Did you have any relatives that were kind of always pulling pranks or being mischievous around you?
Oh, sure.
When you were a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a couple of relatives. I had one relative who was always wondering about him. So, but everybody was always trying to, you know, having a sense of humor, especially when you grow up and you're poor. And boy, I can write a book on that. As long as you got a sense of humor and you've got each other, you can laugh, and you laugh at things that people would think that's not funny, but it is when you have nothing else.
Right, and it helps you to believe that life is not so bad.
No,
you know, I'm having a good time. I'm laughing. I'm having fun, and we're goofing around. And hey, this isn't so bad.
Truly, truly, little things mean a lot, as the old song used to go. So if you've got little thoughts in your mind from the days gone by.
Yeah, one of my uncles used to always try to play pranks on us with these little novelties you could get at the gag shops.
Oh, yeah,
where,
yeah.
You know, the hand buzzers.
Yeah, yeah.
He would have that thing, and he'd have the fake vomit that he would put on someone's tabletop.
Oh, the doggy.
Yeah, or the dog poo. Yeah. All these little tricks.
They have that little bottle that you open the cap and it just smelled terrible.
Oh, yeah, the horrible skunk smell or whatever it was.
I remember riding with that with my sisters in the car and my mom and dad.
It was nasty.
I'd pull the thing up and wave it back and forth a little bit and then close it. And come on now. Who? You know, and blame it on somebody else right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all the little things that you thought were funny. Or if it went to a restaurant, no pet, no dogs allowed, well, you got to stay outside, Mom. Then you get slapped by.
Yeah. The whoopee cushion.
Oh, yeah. That's, they still make those, don't they?
Yeah, I think they do make a lot of those old-time novelties. The little chewing gum where you offer someone a piece of gum and they go to take it and it snaps a wire down on their on their fingers.
A mousetrap.
Yeah, just like a mousetrap.
Or the glass where you drink water and it dribbles all down your shirt.
Yeah, the dribble glass. I had one of those.
Yeah. Well, I guess we were kind of simple, weren't we, when we look back?
Yeah.
But, it was just a simpler time of life. Maybe that's where they got the idea.
The thing that I used to always get that chewing gum that was supposed to be hot, that you're supposed to give to somebody else. Hey, you want a piece of gum? And it's supposed to be tremendously hot. It was never hot for me. I would eat the stuff like it was, no big deal.
Well, that explains it.
It was just a cinnamon kind of flavored gum. I didn't think it was hot at all.
Do they still make blackjack-gum?
I think they do.
I always liked it.
Yeah, I used to like it. I would chew it, and then I would swallow it because I thought, this tastes so good, I'm going to swallow it.
No, you didn't do that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I may still have about 6 or 8 pieces somewhere in my gut.
I found out one thing you don't want to do is eat half-pound bag of M&Ms, and the next day have a physical and get a blood test.
Ooh, yeah.
Your sugar level's a little high.
Yeah, I would think so.
So the doctor said, is your sugar level? He said, what'd you do last night? I said, well, I had a half-pound bag of peanuts, M&Ms.
M&Ms, yes.
Well, that explains it. Okay.
That's like my last, not to get too medical here, I have to take blood thinners, and so I periodically get checked to see how my blood level is, whether it's thin enough or too thick or whatever. So the last time I went in and got it checked, she looked at the number. She goes, what's changed lately? I said, nothing really.
Personality.
Well, yeah. Well, your number is higher than normal. It's 3.0 now, and we want it normally to be between 2 and 3, and you've usually been running around 2.5 at the most. So can you think of anything that changed? And I'm thinking about it, and I said, well, 2 days ago I had a beer, but I don't think that would have done it. She says, well, not necessarily, but I said, oh, wait a minute. A friend of ours brought over a decorative, promotional decanter of Jack Daniels.
And you drank it?
And I said, last night I had a nice, hefty shot of that.
Mm-hmm.
She says, okay, that's what did it. That made your blood too thin.
No kidding, just that?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
So now I'm thinking, well, why the heck am I taking these pills? Why don't I just drink Jack Daniels all the time?
Yeah, you say, well, no, I don't. Jack Daniels is pretty expensive.
Well, but it's more fun than taking a pill.
Jack Daniels, that's a pretty. They have a jazz band. I did a radio show with them out west.
Yeah.
Jack Daniels, where are they from? Tennessee or Kentucky or someplace down there?
I think it's Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah. Well, they have a traveling jazz band.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and did a radio show with them about 5-6 years ago.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So
I would expect them more to if you had told me they had a jug band.
No, it wasn't a jug band. But I did tell the audience there's no samples, only good music. If you're listening to Now and Then Talk Radio, and you're listening to other sources, and that source might cut out if it hasn't already, you can tune to www, did I say 3 W's? nowandthentalkradio.com and pick up the rest.
Yes.
It seems that we've met before, but who knows where or when. All this computer stuff today is really confusing. It certainly is at times because I'm used to terrestrial, what they call terrestrial radio. And we're having fun with the computer stuff because you can sit here and just do so many things with it. And Mel, what you're trying to do is not working. So, one of the things went blank on you, which wasn't your memory for a change.
We're still working out the live podcast broadcast, and we've pretty much mastered loading the edited version of the radio show, and you get the full show when we send out the edited version. But the live one is currently being limited to about 45 minutes. So we'll get this worked out soon.
That's the difference between real radio and that podcasting stuff. Real radio, you're on.
You're on and you're on. That's it.
24 hours a day. You make a mistake. Hey. Try to get away from that one. Mm-hmm. Why don't you? And mistakes do happen. That's one of the fun parts about it.
So I was thinking about duos, since you and I are kind of a duo doing this show. And I'm thinking, okay, what were the other duos of when we were growing up? Comedy teams or just people that you'd always see together on TV for one reason or another. And I came up with a couple of names. Obviously, Laurel and Hardy.
Oh, they were great.
They were a great duo.
Yeah.
And Abbott and Costello. They were another one. Stiller and Mira. Do you remember them?
That was more 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Stiller's son became popular also. He became a good comedian. And I was thinking, okay, what were some duos that were not necessarily considered duos? Like Ray Rayner and Chelveston the Duck?
Yeah. Ray was a good guy.
Yeah. Or Bozo and Ringmaster Ned.
Yeah. Who's your favorite clown? Hey, that's me. Bob Bell, yeah.
Bob Bell.
And then they had that other guy come in after Bob left and went out to, I think it was out to Arizona.
Would Cookie the Clown?
Cookie? Oh, yeah.
I think there was another clown on Bozo's show that I...
Yeah, there was a third one.
Yeah.
I knew Cookie, because Cookie had been over here to the studio many times. And
I don't remember the third clown's name.
You know, the first thing he would tell me, don't tell anybody I'm Cookie. I said, well, don't talk like that then. But no, that was good entertainment. Mm-hmm. When you think back of all the early day television, Ding Dong School, or was there something called Ding Dong School? Or,
I think there might have been. Yeah.
They had several things that were great for kids. And today, I mean, they've got some programs that are pretty good for kids, wouldn't you?
Some of them are pretty good, but some of them, I don't know if you probably have not watched kids' cartoons much nowadays. But
no, I haven't watched
some of them are so violent, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we watched violent cartoons also, like the Roadrunner. And
well, that wasn't violent. I mean, he had a bottle, he hit her, dropped a stone on the duck's head, or whatever that other creature was. Roadrunner, yeah.
Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah.
You know, there was some degree of violence in that, but it was comical violence that you could not really imagine it being real.
Yeah, and groups want to take that kind of violence off and endorse the stuff that's going on now.
Yeah.
Figure that one out.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah, Three Stooges, you know.
Right.
2 fingers in the eyes, you know.
Yeah. Smack someone on the head with a sledgehammer.
Yeah. I mean, don't do that, obviously. And most people would not, I wouldn't think.
But people just, and I don't know if they thought it was too real for kids to be looking at, or, I mean, the movies now that kids can watch, either on computer or on some of the cable TV, they're so violent that it's crazy.
No. I don't know. We never looked at it that way back then. It was just like, oh, look what he did.
Yeah.
Violence wasn't a part of our vocabulary.
No, and even when we watched a lot of the Westerns, for example, growing up, there was always violence in the Westerns. You know, somebody was shooting somebody for something.
Yeah.
But that didn't cause us to want to go out and get a gun and shoot someone to feel like we were cowboys.
No, huh? The biggest thing we ever did was BB gun fights in the barn. And you got to watch out so you don't pump it up.
Yeah.
You put that eye out.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, that was just plain. Kind of stupid. I mean, if our parents would have caught us, we'd have been in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't so much have BB guns, but we did get slingshots.
Yeah.
And we used to goof around with slingshots, and I'll tell you, you get hit by a marble or something coming out of a slingshot, and you think twice about doing it again to someone else. Yeah. You know, you learn your lesson pretty quick.
Well, it was just like ball tag in high school.
Yeah.
Those red balls, those things that go 1,000 miles an hour when you kick them.
Yeah.
You know, they really have speed. I don't know how they did that, how they put that all the chemicals together to make those balls go so fast.
Well, we didn't call it ball tag. We called it bombardment. And somebody would bombard you with one of those, and if it hit you in the face,
you look like
your face would be red for the whole rest of the day.
Oh, yeah, we would pick out the nerds. The ones who would tattle or something like that and tell on you in class, and if you're all in the same gym class and we're playing ball tag, there you go. Okay.
They're the ones to aim for.
Yeah, whack them. You know, the one that had the tape on the glasses.
Yeah.
Nothing against that. I mean, everybody has a good time at high school.
The guys in the audio-visual club.
No, there was no such thing as audio-visual. It was... what was it? Movie Projectionist.
Yeah, or the radio club.
Yeah. I was never in that.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't remember being in really any clubs at all, except the Y.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a club.
Not really, no.
Yeah. But there were a lot of things to do back then. If you had an imagination, you could go in your backyard and it could be somewhere around the world, wherever you want to be.
We used to play with army men all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fascination was, but my mom would bought me a bag of these army men, and you'd probably have 100 little plastic army men in the bag, all of them in different positions of fighting. One guy would be like a sharpshooter, and he'd be laying down as if he was a sniper or something. Another guy would be kneeling and holding up a rifle, and other guys just looked like they were standing around. And we would take these things and dig holes in the ground in the yard and put them in the holes like they were, dug in for the fight.
Yeah. Did you ever notice there were no female army men?
Well, that's why they were called army men.
Is that the reason? Army women, okay.
Yeah.
But I understand there's some woman complained about that.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
they had to change. Okay, now you gotta put women.
You got to put women in
Yeah.
little plastic army men.
Oh, we've gotten so out of hand. It's pathetic. It really.
Did they make a G.I. Jane?
Yeah.
I think there was a G.I. Jane.
Yeah.
I don't know what branch of the service she was supposed to be in, but I never had.
She was married to Bruce Willis. What's her? I can't even remember her name now. But nice looking until the last couple. But
she was in that. What was that movie where she shaved her head?
The G.I. Jane or something like that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember really any. If I knew you in the military, you have to excuse me, and you were female. But I didn't really know any ladies in the military.
Oh,
not that there weren't ladies in the military. Don't misunderstand me.
Yeah,
I never knew of any.
They seem to be more behind the scenes back then in the 60s.
Yeah.
Now have you seen the commercials they're running for the women who are flying fighters?
Oh, sure.
Fighter jets?
Yeah, the first black lady fighter pilot, yesterday they had on the news, which is more power to her. Hey, if you can fly it, take it. Take it for a ride, but don't cry and whine if you have to eject over enemy territory.
Well, yeah.
Because that's a real bummer.
I'm sure they get all that training that,
Yeah, but there's some training
teaches them what to do.
There's some training without being too serious or without a female capture and a male capture that would be just unforgivable.
Yeah.
Unforgivable. And if you're willing to risk that, then more power to you.
Yeah, and to be able to comprehend all the new technology that must be in a fighter jet, it's mind-blowing.
Yeah. Well, all the video games the kids play today, they're used to it.
Well, kind of.
That's why they go out and do stupid things, because they're playing a video game and they're doing it now real. When I thought I could get up and go home after this.
Yeah.
No, you don't get up and go home.
Well, that's why I've heard that the people that they recruit to be real drone pilots for drones that are being used for warfare, they prefer to get people that are really heavily into video games.
No. Not I. The only thing I ever had was Pac-Man.
Yeah. Yeah, and even that, if you were not used to playing Pac-Man, like the first week that you tried playing it, or just like Mario Brothers, the first week you try playing that, it's so new and confusing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what am I supposed to do? And then next thing you know, your character is dead.
Yeah.
You got to start the game again.
I remember what was that game? Back in the early '80s, wasn't it? When Pac-Man came out.
I don't know. I don't remember what year.
I think early '80s were Pac-Man, and then they had the other one where the spaceships would go after and
asteroids.
Yeah, sure.
That was another one.
Yeah, but I remember having a little cassette recorder in a computer, and you write a program.
Oh.
I spent a whole day writing the thing that opened a box. It took me 5 hours to write the program.
Yeah.
And then I find it, wow, did you see that? I just blew 5 hours of my life.
Yeah, just to get it to open a box.
Yeah, well, there's something to say about the old teenagers. We amused easily. You know, we were dedicated, that's for sure. I was dedicated to trying to figure that out.
Well, there's, thousands and thousands of lines of coding that goes into the newer video games, and it's just mind-blowing how realistic they look.
Yeah.
They're almost photorealistic, where you have to look at it twice to think, wait a minute, is this a video of a real event or what's going on here?
Well, you might not believe it. I've never played a video game other than, like I said, Pac-Man or that other one. Yeah, it's just games do not interest me other than basketball, football, track, and other competitive type sports like that.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, there's not going to be a season, I don't think, this year. So that's the way it goes.
Yep. Oh, well.
So, well, it seems like our time is running out here. This is called Now and Then Talk Radio. It's dedicated to baby boomers and their offspring. And what we do is just have fun, shooting the malarkey, as they say, on the South Side during St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Anyway, we hope you enjoyed this past segment of Now and Then Talk Radio. And we're looking forward to being with you. We'll be with you again next Thursday at 12 noon right here on that dial, wherever you might be.
And if you want to email us, you could email us at nowandthentalkradio@gmail.com.
That address again?
nowandthentalkradio@gmail.com.
Okay, that sounds good. Until the next time, this is Denny Farrell.
This is Mayo Pardo.
So long.
See ya.